It's a stab party.
Yo. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. We're going to do some more plugin development stuff. Everyone's doing awesome. Oh, we got to move on to the next part. Was using a bunch of Claude Code to help out. Opus has been freaking amazing, and we're going to be using that for the next part of what we're going to be trying to do. So far, yeah, it's showing that. Oh, because I added the other one. That's why. Okay. So we got a bunch of stuff working. With features that we haven't moved on to the actual like PvP session part of it yet. That's gonna be next. We're trying to get like the main structure of the arena creations and like the spawn points set, and then we can actually move to like the huge PvP session part, which is gonna be really cool. We got chests working, or at least got the box of where the chests are going to go. The debug box is there with the information above it and what direction it's facing. So that feature's set, which is freaking awesome. Under. Screw up. Yeah, that's going to screw up. Let me change it over here so that this scene is correct. Oh, it's not gonna move because because I'm sending it differently. How can I? You know what? No, I'll do this. Hold on. I'll just make another button. I'll do that over here. Okay, yeah, so it's yeah, the source. Okay, the source name. Ooh, I'm gonna have to change that. I need to make another scene for this to make it full screen for this. Let me fix that now. Okay, so that needs its own India. Game. Close. What? That off. Yeah. We could swap that. That probably would be better. Yeah, we could do that. Could swap it. Oh yeah. So JP. Okay. I need a toggle. Doing this the quick and dirty way. And this one is yep. Okay, there we go. I did it quick and dirty. I'll have to press buttons, but at least now we can get a full screen with that because it's being captured differently. Okay, so as I was saying, UI arena. This is PvP 10. We're gonna say Hytale. So through all the coding yesterday or last night, it now knows which arena that we're in, what entities are being spawned in through the show dummies and through show cubes. Like it knows the exact list. We can restart out of the client if the dummies are active and pop back into the worlds. And if the dummies are still shown, it still knows which entities are still live or active in the worlds. And then we can click on hide dummies and everything disappears. That works. The next thing we got working was spawn chests. So now actual chests spawn in the chest locations with the direction that they're supposed to be facing through the configuration. So we go this, and then we go, say, chest 1 needs to be faced south. I do south. We close out of it by despawn chest and put them back in. Then the chest will be in the correct direction. So that's all user-friendly as far as like the check. You can only do one checkbox at a time for that. So that's cool. Yeah, that was super awesome. I kind of broke reality yesterday a little bit. Trying to figure out how to actually spawn the chests in the worlds. Because you can do it like this. What was it? So you can do this. What was the... No. Yeah, so if you do like E and do item and then do chest. I mean, you can make some really cool stuff with like this. And you can go like... and then spawn it. You can make a huge chest. And you can even like rotate it. And then like put it any way you want. So that was the first iteration that I came across. And I was like, oh, you can just put in like full on, like just the textures themselves and place them any direction you want. No, it does not open. It is not interactable. That would be cool. That would be really cool. But, yeah, not interactable at all. So I was like, okay, well, that's not going to help. Can lead to hidden doors. Oh, dude, even just like creating like a cool like arena or scene and having just like floating entities around just for like aesthetics. Freaking awesome. But yeah, and you just literally move it wherever you want. And then yeah, you can scale it. And you can do that for like any item. So cool. All right, gone. That's the first thing I came across. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, I wanted to spawn like an actual chest. So there's the /block space set space coordinate space ID, and that spawns actual like openable items. So I told Claude Opus, I was like, hey, this functionality exists. Can we just utilize that for the location where we want to put the chests? It made a plan, it did it, and then boom, nailed it in one shot. I was like, oh, we need to figure out the rotation, because when you spawn a chest, they all have a particular yaw for north, south, and east, west. I'm like, we need to specify that because we need the chest to open in a specific way. What's up, Chris? Just aesthetically. And I was like, oh yeah, it's this. Cool. So then we created the arena chest. So now all the chests show what direction everything's facing. The mobs are a little bit different because it can actually remember where you were looking at for when a person gets teleported there. It can remember like where the location that they're looking. So this data is different. But this, for the chests, you can specify what face it's facing. So north, south, east, west. I can go west and close out of it. It remembers what direction it's facing. I should probably put north, south, east, west here. Do that later. So I can despawn chests. It destroys them, which I don't know if there's items in those chests. If you destroy them, will they actually, all the items just pop out? Probably. So you probably need to clear the entities from the chests first and then despawn them. But we can go that, spawn chests, and then it puts the chests in the correct locations, exactly where they need to be. And they're all interactable. Freaking cool. So the next thing after this was going to be, how do you set the loot for these chests was going to be next. But there was 2 tweets from yesterday from Simon that referenced 2 plugins or things for Hytale. One of them was almost exactly the same thing that we're doing, is creating basically making a mini game plugin that can create arenas or spawn points or things like that. And in its little video demo thing, it was using this tool for specific commands. And I was like, yeah, we should be able to do the same thing because it exists in the game. So why can't we reference this selection as to do something? So I asked Opus late. Was it last night or this morning? This morning. I was like, hey, can we do this? And it was like, yeah, you should be able to. I just gave it the ID for this, the selection tool for the editor tool _selection. And it was like, okay, we're going to create a test. So also thanks to Alden for showing this plugin. It's a console log plugin. So you don't have to go into the log file. You can go into here. Although you can't copy the text from here, which is really annoying. But you need that. I'll send it to you, JP. But here's that the test UI selection. It knows how you select and what coordinates you select them, and it knows also if it's a single block that's selected. And then with this data, it was like, okay, yeah, it can see what selection you chose, and it knows the min max, like the corners of where you selected. And as long as it doesn't mess with the functionality of like the tool itself, then he's like, yeah, then we can take that data and just use it for whatever we want. I was like, that would be amazing, because that's what we want. We want to be able to eventually do, like, I want to do this. I want to do like this, player spawn, chest spawn, like mop spawn, and then set the arena to protect it in the future. I can go like this, like do the entire selection and be like, hey, this is going to be the arena zone. Then this will be protected. So as long as if the selection functionality works, then we can set everything just with just the selection tool, and then just piggyback off that. Would be amazing. Yeah, let me send you that plugin. Yeah, as soon as Opus was like, yeah, we'll do a test. Opus was smart enough to be like, hey, yeah, let's do a test plugin. Like, just do the selection, and then we'll look at the console and see what data comes out and see if it'll work. And I was like, okay. Did that, gave it the server log, and it's like, yeah, it's not giving the information that we exactly need. I'm gonna tweak some stuff, and then it got the exact coordinates, and it was like, yep, we see it, we can do it. I was like, oh, cool. Like, the last day and a half with working with Opus is 1,000 times smarter than Gemini. Just contextually, like conversation-wise, like its replies, how thorough it was with just the planning phase and researching stuff, and then coming out with the full plan. Like, I have the full file for the selection part, which we're gonna do now. It wrote the entire plan of like what files need to get changed, what references it made, what other like sub functions it needs to create. It did the entire list, and that's when my like context window like popped out like early this morning. I was like, oh crap! Like, I have the file, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do a new session once my window is opened up, and then I'll be like, hey, this is the plan that you made. We need to implement it and see if it works. Be certain things because I don't need it. I don't need it. Don't want to waste time. Yeah, exactly. It's this. That's the thing. I actually wanted to do I don't know if you want to look into that. For that mod, apparently it's MIT license. So what I wanted to do was look into it about changing it so that you can actually select the text in the server log, like in the game, so you can copy it. Because right now you can't click on any of the text itself. So it would be cool to edit the mod or branch it so that we can change it so that we can actually select the text within it, because that would be cool just to be like, hey, instead of giving the AI the entire log, we can just copy paste like the section that it needs, or for our own research. I think that would be really cool. Oh yeah. Is that? That one. Those two. The first one was the like mini game creation thing, and the second one is like the MMORPG that looks stupidly good. Like, oh, imagine having an entire team doing something like that is freaking awesome. Okay, let's do this. Let's got this there. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Nope, that's console. Nope, that's console again. Despawn chests. Okay. Yeah, since that works, I'm gonna do that. Right? Looks like it's. I think my screen is too. I think my screen's too large. Oh, the ratio seems different. Oh. No, it's right. It seems right. I think. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Cool. Coffee. Okay, so. Oh. So we have the selection tool integration plan.md is what it wrote. Selection tool integration for arena setup. Context. The selection tool editor tool selection sends builder tool selection update packets ID 409 with min max coordinates. We've proven that can intercept these packets. The arena system currently has a boundaries model, but no UI set for boundaries. The default to plus minus 50 blocks from the front center. This change adds selection tool as an additional input method for setting the boundaries at the and spawn chest locations and keeping the existing button-based workflows intact. Yes, we want the buttons themselves, and we want the selection tool. We're going to have both. We're going to have both additions. Yeah, user workflow. Make a selection with the selection tool at any time. Open the arena UI. Click set boundaries from selection, or add spawn from selection. Done. Coordinates come from the stored selection. Base comes from the player's current rotation. And then it has all the code that it needs, or the files that it needs to update. So we're gonna go here and go Claude. Here. Cool. Okay. Okay. Well. With doing collection tool. Continue doing. Where is that file located? Docs? It's in docs. It's in the docs folder. I'm gonna do this before I do that. I'm going to copy the source and make a backup of it. Even though for honestly for Opus, I've not had to do this one single time yet. It's one-shotted every time. Which to me, I'm still like, but what? What do you mean? Oh wait. Paste. Okay, I'm just backing up the files, the source files, just in case. All right, and that's it. And I hit enter. I want to do his thing. Yeah, it nailed all the chest stuff, and then the rotation stuff. It nailed the debugging of the selection tool and how it can possibly work. Is awesome. Is really it. Yeah. Fill a picture of the code base. Let me email the plan, the following prescribed order. Create the tasks to track progress. Yeah, this interface like that is it's so much better of like how it just does everything. Yeah, always. Like it's such more like just user intuitive wise, just as far as like what specifically it's working on or what it's doing. That you have before. It's just a CLI. I'm running WSL, so Windows Linux subsystem. Just a Ubuntu subsystem, and then just type in Claude in the project folder, and then it's just a CLI. And then I use VS Codium just to view the files if I need to change anything like that side of it through. Just opening it directly from VS Codium. Which again, stupidly good. Like it doing it this way is like I got so fed up with Gemini that I was like, screw it, I'm going Linux route. I'll use the subsystem. I already had the subsystem installed before just to test stuff. Installed Maven. It has the route to run. It figured out the correct route for the correct Java version to compile. Like it was so much better using this, and it is so much smarter and intuitive of like what it should do. Like it makes me never want to go back to Gemini ever again. Like no joke. Like I'd rather run out of my context window and wait 3 hours to do this again for it to one-shot it rather than to try to fight and Gemini just fuck up everything and like delete entire files and be like, oh, I hallucinated. I didn't mean to do that. I need to reassemble the code again from an old source that you have in a random folder that you have for last source that you use for a reference, and then try to rebuild everything from scratch. It's like, no, it's such a waste of time. Incredible waste of time. It was so annoying. I so frustrated. And then the instant I tried Opus, which I didn't realize that everything got updated for Claude's side, was like, oh yeah, you have access to Opus 4.6. I was like, oh, okay. First shot, fixed all the errors, implemented the like one little change I wanted to do before. I was like, oh, this is freaking amazing. What do you mean? 4.6 came out yesterday. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, it's been freaking amazing. I was like, if I had the money, I would get the $100 a month plan. Shit, just for how good it was, and just for this, like just Java stuff. Man, if they can work on their context window size, disgustingly good. What's up, Alden? Huge difference. I said I'd rather wait 3 hours if my context window runs out and do it again then, rather than dealing with the BS from Gemini. Flat out. This works. This is going to be awesome. Alden, if this works, what we're doing now, we've upgraded the whole plugin like tenfold. Like, it's so smart. I want to ask it questions from things that I found to see if it can like decipher how to do it. Like, I want to add in other like interface stuff the same way that you use the admin tools. Or like the building tools. Honestly, I want to see if we can tap into that so we can use that functionality to make it even more streamlined and user friendly to do stuff.
Oh,
like I just want to ask it more questions. Even though it's gonna be a waste of tokens, but I'm like, I want it to do stuff because it's really cool. Good, head rotation is already imported. Let me verify exception array list imported. All right, let's build. All right, build. Built successfully. All 61 source files completely cleaned. Dude, one shot. Build issue. No, literally. I think out of every single time I've built a different version of this, it hasn't failed one single time. Not once. Which to me is like, it's going to happen now since I jinxed it, but out of the last 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times, not one single time has it failed building the jar. Like, I'm like, oh, I just copy the file and it just goes in and it works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Like, I'm like, what? This is amazing. All right, here's a summary of what was implemented. New files created. Immutable value object with is single block. Get min location, max location. Get summary helpers. Selection storage manager. Thread safe. Concurrent hash map VUID player selection. Store handlers selection. Tool packet handler. Replaces the test handler. Yeah, because we tested it before. Stores selection and forwards to builder tool plugin that add to queue for native copy paste fill. Deleted the old selection. We tested it first, so because it basically wrote a test plugin section to make sure that the selection actually works. Oh, that's freaking awesome. All right, let's try it. Copy. Paste. I have to update my scripts to copy the jar. I have it because it's in the Windows, the WSL. It's in a different location, so I need to change that script. I wouldn't be surprised if it failed now because it just changed so much stuff, but so far it's been freaking amazing. We're going full screen. All right, let's see this. Hell yeah. Set from selection. View selection? Did it add a view selection function? No way. Nope. Yeah, that failed because it's not. That's not set. Which is fine. I didn't think that would have been added. This is freaking cool. Okay, hold on. No, don't create. 10. Let's do another player spawn point. Okay, we'll do... Oh my god, please. I need to do it like... Maybe two... No, I want to do it like... Shit. Yeah, like that. Manage. Arena. Okay, so it made it there. Then we can edit it. We say team 1, facing there. Update. No. Save. Ah, okay. So that way we have to change that, but and then we do show dummies. Perfect. Oh, it's freaking awesome. All right, so let's do this. Let's set the arena. So let's do this. Go this way. And go like this. Like that. Cool. That arena. That's from selection. So the entire arena boundaries, it's 49 blocks by 11 blocks by 37 blocks. Oh. So if I delete that. So current selection, it shows the min and max of the points that were selected, the dimension that's in its defaults for the world, and then it gives the size of the selection itself. Okay. Maybe the view selection, is that supposed? I have to ask what that's supposed to be. Is it supposed to show a visual of like the entire area? Or is it just supposed to print out text in the chat and just tell you the dimensions itself? It would be cool to see what the selection was, or if we can apply the selection tool. Well, no, because it's going to be multiple. If we do like custom arenas that have different sizes for sections, that's going to be a little bit complicated. We probably use like the debug cubes to show those. But okay, so when we do view selection, we see the text, but then it has a loading screen, so it'll probably nail that. But yeah, no, we can. This is freaking awesome. So we can do. So say, let's do this. We do that. We do. And then we go manage. Oh, it's so good. That's it. And just made the chest. And then we go. Hide dummies, it hides everything. And then to make sure that it works, we go spawn chests. The new one's there. That's freaking cool. Okay. Okay, so now we gotta fix. Now since that works, let me see how much the context window that was. Context. Yeah, 102,000 tokens. Damn, it was a lot. But that was cool. Yeah, it freaking nailed it with that. See, I'd want to continue it from here because it has everything in its memory right now of what we just did. So maybe after this next prompt to clear out the view selection part, fix that, and then I'll restart the session just to make sure that it doesn't, because that's the one thing about that's the one bad thing about Opus or just Anthropic in general, is that their context windows are so freaking small that it does everything so good, and you want it prompt and do more stuff that you run out of it and you have to wait 3 hours or however long it is before you can actually like ask it more stuff. That's the only like super bad thing about it. Like if they were able to figure out more stuff, or figure out how to make their context window better, yeah, like use it all the time. Okay. An issue I see. If I click on selection, I get a overlay that goes away. Do see the text chat with the details. So, fix that, but also, is there a visual way we can see? A visual way we can throw it out. Let's see. Let's just throw it out there. So it'll nail I've had the loading issue a couple different times. Happens because view selection doesn't call this rebuild or close the page. The UI just hangs. me check what debug utils options are available. Yeah, if we can make the debug cube work and just make it way more transparent, that would be amazing. Matrix 4D. Okay. Okay. Overlay fix added this rebuilds at the end of the view selection. The UI refreshes and dismisses the loading state. In-world selection visualization. You click on view selection and now renders a cyan debug cube covering the full section boundaries. And then for the custom matrix 40, that translation, the selection center and the scales its dimensions. The cube lasts 30 seconds. With fade enabled. For single block selection, it'll be a 1x1 by 1. For multi blocks, it'll stretch the cover, the full bounding box. Okay, try it. Took me to get flashbang. I'm gonna back up a bit. Oh, I need this. Do I need the tool selected in my hand? No selection stored. Use the selection tool in-game first. Okay, that's 100% wrong. Okay. Now when I click on selection, text that says stored, use. We have the what? Thinking. I'm confident it'll know how to fix it. This didn't. It probably just didn't. It didn't reference the saved selection. Also need to make sure that it does actually save it in the arena information. I don't know if we ever talked about that. No, it did, because it's at the top. Like it shows the entire selection that we did. Yeah. Yeah, boundaries. It has it here. So it should work. Technically. Storage is happening in the packet handler, but the lookup UUID might not match. We trace the actual UUID usage. This UUID is stable player UUID. I don't have the other log message in there. I need to do that more often. I should verify that it is actually saving it, the boundaries in the JSON file, so that it is actually loading rather than just memory. No, it's gonna rip through tokens. See, this is the part where it just like uses so much and it's like, oh, come back in 3 hours. No, it would have to, because we exited the game and went back in, and you state access inside Wolv21. Until 2 hours? Yeah, I'm probably gonna hit that up really soon. Oh. Establish Hytale pattern seen in every handler. Puts all game state access inside world execute world get name player ref get UID, calls the game thread guaranteed to be safe. Added UID to the log message when you make a selection. You should now see this. Selection stored for name UID summary in the server log. If you don't see this at all, the handler isn't being called. Deploy this, make a new selection, then check the server log for the selection aligned with clicking new selection. That's not what I meant. I'll do it, but it's not. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Cancel. Let me relaunch completely so that it creates a new log file. Okay, check this. Make sure. Selection. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't show it. Okay, I'm gonna do put to desktop. Oh, did I? That is. It's getting there. It's like 138K out of 200. 69%. Nice. Yeah, I don't. It's like, do I? Okay, okay. Okay, added the latest log folder. So I know when we set we do save that data in the right, or where do we store that? That should be referenced for the the name of it again? I already forgot the name of it. I'm gonna go back into Hytale. Already forgot. View selection, right? Yeah, view selection. All right, let's see what it does. Just asked it. It's like the information's already saved in there, so we should be using that data to draw the box. Yes, that does make sense. Boundaries do save the JSON. Set boundaries from in case. Right, it's the JSON file. Yep. View selection should show the arena's saved boundaries, not the transit packet selection. That's a better UX. The button is in the boundaries section, so it should visualize what's stored in the arena. But your point is clear. Yeah, no shit. My point's clear. Exactly what I wanted to do. Also rename the button in the UX to view boundaries, since that's what it does now. Yep. Okay. Copy, paste. All right, let's see if it fixed it. Yeah, so now it should be pulling, because since the boundary is already set, it should pull it from what we have saved, because it is saved. Nope. Would need to have this selected, would I? No, it does not. It does not work. Click on view boundaries. I see text in chat with correct information. see the visual of I give it 15 minutes and then my context window runs out. Yeah, it's something with the visual part or the debug part. It doesn't know how to do that or how to do that correctly. That I wasn't going to be surprised if it didn't know how to do that. If there's nothing like built into Hytale itself to just show that, then that's not going to work. It would be nice though. That or make it so like if you're holding the selection tool in your hand, it'll snap the dimensions to that selection. That would be the next logical step to do. Without you having to do it again. Let me see. Use debug util add keep. What the fuck? I want to read what it did. Works per player, but the boundary visualizations use debug utils add worlds, debug shape, matrix color, duration. That. The problem is that debug world. As a debug shape to the world is likely broadcast to all players. It uses a different rendering pipeline, visible to the individual player. More importantly, takes vector 3D position and a double size. It's simple, proven API. Translate then scale may not produce the expected result matrix multiplication. Order matters and scaling after translation and the matrix 40 could be distorting the shape or placing it incorrectly. The fix: replace the matrix 40 based debug utils add call with individual debug util add cube calls at the 8 corners along the edges. Okay, that makes sense. The simplest reliable approach is to draw the 12 edges of the bounding box using small cubes at intervals. However, the most problematic fix is to draw corner markers using the proven add cube method. That, yeah, if we can just draw cubes and it just place them apart evenly between them, that makes a lot of sense. That's freaking cool. You verify the unused imports can be cleaned up. Okay, compile it. Waddling. And he waddled away. Being invisible for 30 seconds. Okay, let's try. Pretty sure nothing else broke. Those worked. Okay. Well, there's like a graphical like. Okay, it's still broken. Or this doesn't work. And I click. Let me do this. Exit. Get the latest log file. I need to do a command for that too. A little script for that also. All these little things just speed everything up so much. Okay. View boundaries. I still do not see any use. See, look, maybe they are. Patient. And put the it figures out. Yeah, I think the cubes themselves are just getting, you see there's a graphical glitch that pops as soon as you click the view boundaries button. It's not showing it correctly. Yeah, from this error is gonna, at least I said it's not erroring out when it builds the jar, so. Invalid entity reference. The flash you see is likely the cubes briefly appearing before the server dies. The sheer volume of add cube calls in the large area is probably overwhelming the server. I mean, I understand the scale. Any reasonable size arena in the wireframe approach, generating a massive number. Oh my goodness. Root cause wireframe approach is spawning hundreds of cubes. Oh, hundreds. Like, can it do like just a hell of a lot less? Place the edge tracing loops with just 8 cube calls at each corner. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Oh, it's probably do like little tiny individual cubes across. a brilliant solution. Try to fix it. Yeah, but just having like 8 cubes per side or per axis would be a lot better. Nope. What if I do a smaller selection? What if I do that? No. Even if I make it way smaller, I still don't see the cubes. Okay. Yeah, the first thing is getting caught up on. Even though it's still building it good, but... Alright, on. I gotta... quit. Paste. Okay. Didn't work. Let's see. Nothing. Also, set the for an arena made it much smaller. View. Nothing. Yeah, this is more of a weird nuance thing for this. Like, I'm not surprised this doesn't work yet. This is a nice have. Scope creep. No, is it? It placed the cubes and then removed them immediately afterwards. That would be funny. That would be really funny. Hey. Why couldn't a cube be the full size of the full arena? Or the boundary that you set? You know? It doesn't make sense. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. That's from selection. View boundaries. I mean, that's cool. Not gonna lie. Okay. Okay, nice. See the. Yeah. We add more. Also can a start. He's like, here, I'm gonna build this entire function to do this one thing, and then the next step is to remove it. Supports opacity. What do you mean? It can fade. Why can't it just be halfway faded? Is it trying to remove... Is it trying to extract the jar? Let's say no. Let me hit escape. If you need the Hytale server jar files already. Make sure that's correct. Yeah, it is. Okay. It was smart. It was trying to like see all the different classes within the Hytale server jar. But we already have it extracted so that it doesn't need to do that. Doesn't need to waste more tokens. Like searching through it because we already have it. Which again, really smart. Check display debug packet for any alpha support. Yes, please. Well, it said it can fade the block out. So like, why, if it can fade, then there is an opacity to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to do that. That to me logically doesn't make any sense. Ticket link only carries RGB. Or the duration fade. The fade flag already true for all cube calls makes cubes fade over time. So they start opaque. is to use a dimmer color value. Okay, that's fine. The fade flag is already true on all cubes, hard-coded in add cube. So they'll gradually fade over the 30-second duration. Makes sense. Copy. Paste. That's awesome. That's cool. All right, try it again. Let's make this a little bit more tight. Yeah, I just did mini cubes. Before when it wrote it, it wrote it and then it cleared it like instantly afterwards, and it found it. It was like, oh yeah, sorry, I cleared the cubes as soon as right after they spawned in. So let me fix that. We do from selection. It does the boundaries. It says the size. I hit view boundary, and then yeah. Dude, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, it's a simple solution for exactly what we want to do. And now we can see the arena, like the boundaries of the arena itself. And then yeah, it fades over 30 seconds. That's cool as hell. Yeah. Do you see Opus just nailing stuff left and right? Still no jar compile errors. None. Even with it not working, it said the server crashed because it spawned too many entities. Which it probably tried to do like box to box to box, like the entire line of however big it was. Which could probably work too, but I like this look better though, the mini cubes in between. I think that's fine. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, and these are already like sort of transparent, but yeah, that's cool. All right, well, now it's time to because this adds so much more functionality to what we want to do. Because now we can actually utilize the in tools. So this is the other thing I probably will do tonight after like my context window like disappears. Is I want this. I want to add another tab over here that has like we'll make a PvP icon, like the sword, cross swords. And basically, it's the same thing as this. Just take this menu, and for mode, you just set arena, player spawn, mob spawn, like whatever other functionality in here. And then depending what you choose, like for the material, say like instead of wall, pretend this is chest. Then you can go chest, and then just drag over what chest you want to spawn there, and it should automatically pull the ID. It should pull the ID automatically. That would be cool and super easy and intuitive. And then you can set the rotation, like the direction of the face of the chest should be, it should be, and you just execute command and then done. Like that would be like just to go like this back and forth and just tab, do the stuff would be so much easier to for the admin side. That would be so much easier to use to do that, to have like another tab over here, or yeah, let's say text over here, or button over here, or for the admin side, just to have a tab right here. Like that. I would imagine that would be possible. Just, yeah, I thought about this morning. I'm like, wait, why, since we could use the selection tool, why can't we use the menu itself? It might not be available from the AI, from the API, but these tabs exist somewhere in the code, right? So why can't we just say, hey, throw in another tab? And it's so cool that we can just piggyback off of the selection, like the actual tool itself. That's awesome. All right, well, that's a nice to have feature in the future. But now we want to get the loot tables for the chests working. Since now we can do this and spawn chests, and it spawns the chests. Now I want to have another button here that says spawn loot, and then through the tables it will randomly put loot in these chests depending on whatever we set, make random combinations, but they'll be able to set the loot for all the chests within the arena itself. And then once that works, then we move over to the full like PvP session part, which is going to be probably a freaking nightmare. But the actual like queuing system, teleporting the players and saving their location and all their inventory, having the countdown, doing the scoreboard, if someone disconnects, all the edge case stuff. Like I already have a document like full of information about how that should work. But yeah, I'm trying to get like the rudimentary stuff done first. So like player spawn and mob spawn locations are done, teams are done, chests can spawn in. Now we just need loot. And then the next logical part is the actual like the PvP system itself. Yeah. Freaking cool. That, or if we can't get the tabs side of things working, then just to make the user interface a little bit more intuitive, or like have it auto-populate all the chests you can choose from a list, and you just click on one of the chests if you want a particular look for your PvP, for your world or your arena. Okay. Context. 65,000. That's fine. Okay, cool. Okay, worked. Looks good. Onto the... Cool. All right, and then move on to the chest loot tables. This is going to be really cool. What do you have in mind for chest loot tables? What are you looking to do? Add a UI to configure loot tables per arena. Define loot tables, loot table data structures, item pools, weights, rarities. Wire up existing chest locations to spawn randomized loot. Something else. Some context would be nice. This is gonna be interesting. I mean, think about like the item pools, the weights and rarities. Yeah, maybe. Weighted random, yeah. So, okay, so we have to have like what? A list of all the items that could be added to the chests. And then there's weights on all of those particular items. And then it just chooses what chests get what random items. Does that make sense? See, the design part of it, I don't understand. That I don't get. I mean, I understand, but just like, oh, it can choose like, so out of the entire like chest pool, it can choose one random chest to have a higher rarity of loot. That could be cool. I would say like, game design. Oh, that's funny. I'd say I'd probably want this simple at first, but since it knows how to do it, to have the fully designed system would be really cool. Okay. I need to type this out in like a new new text file. Otherwise, I'm gonna enter something into the AI and it's gonna be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, no, I didn't mean to say that. Okay. So there will be a set amount of chests and in an arena. Out of all the chests, smaller amounts will be have rare loot, better weapons, food, potions. So I guess we need to have like a list of rarities for whatever we decide to put into the loot table to know what to throw into it. It would be so much cooler to have like a UI set up that we can just drag the materials over to the boxes and to add it. That would be really cool. We could do. I could probably just reference it in the UI and see if it can find it. Because that would be so easy. Yeah, balance too. Trying to figure out like what balance is. It's just like they're like, it's a PvP battle, so at least 2 of the chests has to have a weapon, minimally. Otherwise, you can't fight, and then everything else in between is scattered between like food, potions, and just more weapons or armor. Oh yeah, no, we can do there. Well, this is the chest part of it. There's going to be also kits. If a kit is chosen as so when you create a session, you can choose the arena, and then you can choose if you want chests to spawn or if you want to have kits, predetermined kits. They'll do like archery kit or melee kit, and then whatever's chosen, you'll be given a blanket, armor, weapon, food, potion, and then everyone gets the same thing, which would be cool too. So that's a whole nother thing because at that point we have to like how to save a person's inventory so once we restore them they get all their stuff back, but then also how to give them a kit so that they can utilize it. That's in like the PvP session design part of it. Let me save this. So let's save that. Chest loot tables ideas.md. All right. Yeah, it would be so much easier to have a UI for this. Yeah, I still want to reference that because it's so much easier. Okay, let's see. This is when I have and I see a tool window. Screen. To it's creative mode. Selection tool. Well, I guess this will answer my question. If it could even do this. Can we do the selection tool window shows section and a icon that you can drag, drop a block into that space to set item. The wait. Slider could make that Set rarity. Add. Add material button. At the bottom is command. Items. If this can't be done, then we can design within our UI or chest. Then based on the items that were added, with there and build the chests with those, with that. Oop. Okay. Let me see if it. Okay. Can you look at just loot table ideas MD and see if that makes sense. File. Folder. Let's see. Yeah, if we could do it all via menu based, do it via menu is going to be so much easier. Creative mode, quick settings, selection tool panel is likely a built-in Hytale UI. Hooking into it or adding a custom tab will require knowing the game's expose API for extending the panel. Do you know if there's any way to add tabs to existing built-in UI panels, or should we assume we'll need to build our own UI page like the existing arena info page? To loot table model based upon your notes, it sounds like each arena has a loot table shared across all its chests. Items are added with a rarity weight value. At the game start, all chests will be populated with a loot table. This subset of chests are flagged as rare and pull from higher tiered items. Regular chests pull from lower tier items. That's, yeah. The rare items show up less often in any chest. I'd say rare items showing up less often in any chest probably sounds better. Rare items just show up less often any chest. For the tab, which can you look at the server first? Right now, I don't have. Yeah, we don't. I don't think I've seen anything coming across that we can edit in-game menu stuff, even for just adding an extra tab, which would be freaking amazing. So worst case, we'll just build our own UI. That's fine. It would be so convenient to have that. Let's see what it says. I got so fed up the other day with Gemini. I was like, that's it. I'm setting up Linux for everything I want to do. Here's what I found. Tab injection into existing panels not possible. There's no API or adding custom tabs to built-in panels like the selection tool or creative quick mode. It's the selected tab changed event type exists, but only for tabs within your own custom pages. The built-in panels are closed off. So the path forward, building our own chest. Yeah, that's fine. In this full implementation, how do items work in Hytale from the server side? Is there an item registry ID system you're already using? Do you need to figure out how to reference items? Also, do you able control which items appear? Also, how many of each item per chest? Yeah. All the items in the game have IDs, just like the chest used for spawning. Crap. So the click and drag method for that's not going to work unless we can like do that. Ooh, yeah, we need some type of access to all the blocks in the game to choose from, because otherwise we have to put in the actual ID number or the ID of the item that we want, which is going to be really annoying. So if we do, so when we do custom UI page for loot, we need a way to a list of all the in the game. with their icons if possible. I mean, we should be able to. Rules. For each rule. Yes, which right, entering planning mode, which means that I'm going to run out of context soon. It's exactly what happened last time. Got everything up and running for the selection tool part, and it was like, oh, you're at 91%. This is better before because, like, yeah, I think restarting the session before definitely helped out a bunch. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. The design for the loot tables themselves, or how it works, is gonna be, yeah. Because I want to say, like, there has to be an X amount of when it has weapons, minimally X amount. Like, if there's 8 chests, at least half of them should have weapons, and then the rest will be food and potions and armor, like, scattered in between. And then each one that has a weapon can have food and or potion and or armor. Yep, there it is, 92%. No, 8 p.m. There's the 3-hour part. Shit, this is what's gonna happen. I called it too. It's gonna write the plan. Yeah, let me write the plan. It's gonna write the plan, and that's the exact point when I'm gonna run out of context. Same exact thing happened last time with the selection part. I said I'd rather do this than working with Gemini again. Even the pro version, not worth it. I'd rather take the break. And I could actually probably design the loot table part of it, or how that should work. And then, oh, there it is. Dude, I love Opus. It's so good. Here's the plan. Chest loot table feature plan. PvP Arena plugin needs a loot table system so the Arena admin can configure which items spawn in chests with rarity, weight, and in what quantities. Currently, chests are placed in the Arena but have no loot configuration. User wants A custom UI page for browsing all game items with icons and adding them to the loot table with weight and quantity setting. Data model. Loot entry item ID string matches Hytale's item asset ID, weight ints, higher, more common, lower rarity, default 10, min quantity, max quantity. New loot table, entries, loot list, slots to fill, how many slots per chest to fill. Arena, add fields, private, loot table with getter setter. Okay. UI pages. Entry points. Add loot table button to arena info page. New button in the chest location section. Okay. And then loot table page UI. That looks fantastic. Okay, write this plan to a file, please. Yeah, that looks great. So before its context runs out, I'll have it write the file, so I have it locally, and I can tweak whatever I need to tweak. I'm probably not going to touch it because every single time it's done this, it freaking nailed it. Yes. No, we will do that plan later. This looks awesome. So. Dude, awesome. Yeah, it's been so much more of a pleasure working with Claude at Opus doing this than Gemini. The past couple days that Gemini has. This is, yeah. All right, well, I guess you can probably just go, yeah, I said the rarity for the chests and the items, and then, yeah, we'll do like a certain amount of chests should have weapons, at least, because that's the whole point of it, right? Well, I guess if the weapons are more common, then they're gonna show up more often, right? That makes more sense. It would be cool. Maybe I could use Gemini for that. Do like a mock up loot table generator to find out like weights and rarities and just populating lists to see if like if I was to say like if I had like 8 chests with these items and rarities and quantities, how would they look if you when you do like simulation? How does it work? Like what do each of the chests look like when you do that? Like that could be kind of a cool like test. Maybe I'll do that later. Before my window's up, or do it through Gemini and have it be like, hey, can we try this? That, or even like make an HTML page and just do it web based, because it's just raw information. We're just taking that raw information, right? Cool. It's really cool. Yeah, so we're gonna have our own custom UI. The dragging of the items in would be really freaking cool. I would assume it would be possible. Figuring it out for that. But I'm getting the lists themselves should be built into the game. Obviously, it's built into the game, so just applying it to that would be super nice. Worst case, we probably have to get it through the API and just make a text list of it, and then just after like noting, like this is like Weapon X doomed. That's the one that we want. So doing that's probably going to be like, we'll probably have to make note of that, unfortunately. But to have the icons with them would be a nice have, if possible. Okay. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, let me try. Let me try another arena. I mean, it probably works, but okay. This is. Oh, I never did that yet. Well, okay. So cool. Okay, so that errors out, or it loads on that, so that's going to be a problem. This needs to be like this. 8. Update location. Yeah. Okay. Back. 6. Go. TP. Yep. Who's the other one that we want to? Oh, 10. What? Yeah, that everything else. Okay. 8. TP. Boom. Cool. Also, just make sure again. 8. Okay, so yeah, so it does this when I teleport it, and then once you hear it's still loading. So okay, so it's still airing out a little bit, but at least yeah, you can still close out of it. Something with the UI on that side of things. Oh, and then hit 10. 3 boundaries. Yeah, it works. And then it fades out after 30 seconds. But yeah, it fully knows what the boundaries are now. And then how big the section is. So it utilizes the selection tool to do it. And then we can micro adjust the spawn locations for everything now, too, from the UI. That was also fixed. So like chests, if they need to get micro moved, you can, and then also what direction they're facing. So Should be same with these. Yeah, change IDs. Also this, and then what direction they're facing. This would change what direction they're facing. That's also updated. The from selection part is using their tool. To do the actual addition. Actually, let's try it. Manage 10. Player spawn. Oh no, cancel from selection. The only thing it does, if you do this, it does it automatically, and then you have to go into the edit and say, "I want this team 2," and then save, and then now it's team 2. Now it's done. There it goes. Then each of the text shows player spawn, what the ID is, the team if you put one associated with it, and then the XYZ for each. Yeah. Yeah, so it wrote out the full loot table idea. Also, Alden, if you have any ideas for the loot table, let me know, because that part of the game design I don't know. It wrote out a plan for it. It basically said it's going to be all chests, how the loot tables will work for the chests. So what we did was all chests within an arena will set just the rarity for items, and depending on what the rarities are, it'll populate all the chests with those particular rarities. And obviously, the more rare items, the more rarer the items, the less obviously it'll show up. So then we'll have like weapons, food, potions, armor. And then it just scattered about. And then we'll just make sure that there's a minimum set of weapons, because weapons is the most important, right? We'll just say there has to be at least like 50% of the chests has to have a weapon. Like that's a must. And then everything else could be like scattered in between. And obviously balancing and stuff like that, but we can set weights and rarities and stuff. But yeah, that side of it, I don't know. Kit's gonna be stupidly easy. Chest rarity is gonna be interesting. But yeah, my context window is almost up, so you can't do that yet. I was thinking about maybe talking to Gemini and be like, hey, can we do like a mock test of like if we had like 8 chests with this list of loot, how does it get split up between which ones? That could be kind of cool. Wait, let's see with high rarity cap. But yeah, okay. So it basically has that. Or we'll be able to set that. And yeah, hopefully after like 8 p.m. is when this is gonna get reset. I can start using it again. If it can do the UI and where we can click and drag items in to set the tables, that would be really that would be fun and way more user friendly than typing out IDs, because that would be such a pain in the ass. Yeah, hopefully it can see that. Yeah, because having this function and being able to like be like, hey, battle axe. Or if it's not material, if the orange cloth was a battle axe, then doing this would be sick. You just have it make a command that copies the chest. Have it make a command that copies the chest. Oh, you mean do we want to have like predetermined or preset chests? Yeah, you're basically making a kit for the chest, right? And you would have different loadouts for the chests in that sense, and you just choose random from those sets. We can do that too. That could be kind of cool. But that's that defeats the rarity in weight part of the chest and dynamically setting it. Throw everything you want into to be in the loot table into the. Oh, you mean okay? So you mean like literally doing this like these are the items I want in to be on in the loot table, right? Like read this chest to set it. That could be cool. Okay, I understand you. So just so I understand. So we do this. Let's do it. Let's see. Arrow. Oh. Screw dagger. And you do this. Like, hey, read this chest. Take all that information, and then we can set. And then at that point, once it's populated, then we can set the rarities and weights. Yeah, no, I want to get away from. That's why I want to see if it can do the UI where it can populate all the IDs automatically with the icons, and we just click and drag them over. Then yeah, if it can't do that, then I'll see if it can do this. Be like we could just do this, right? Use the selection tool. Be like, open up the UI. Be like, loot table chest, and then it can read the information within the selection. It should see the chest and the items within it, and then create a table from that. So yeah, that could. If it can't do it the menu way, then this would be probably the next best bet for sure. Because that would be really cool. Because yeah, I'm not writing out all the items because that would suck. We tried that before. It's such a pain in the ass. Space ID, space ID, space ID, space ID, space ID, / whatever, space ID, fails. Well, yeah, that would be cool because it already have the quantity, and then the other stuff. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, because then we could just select it. And then it can just read it, the data in that box or in that selection. Yeah. Yeah, that would make it really user-friendly. Because, yeah, you can just go and create it and be like, I want this, and potion bomb, and crossbow, and a katana. Be like here's your loot table, or here's the start of it, and then set weights. You use mods and add custom weapons and armor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if they can just pull it in, because it already has the ID, then that would be cool. even that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'll 100%. I'll remember that. But yeah, if we can just pull up a menu and just there's a scrollable list just like this of like just like all the IDs or just everything like this, and just go whoop and plop it over to something like this. Because there's an item box or item something for the UI, so that does exist for custom UIs. I'm pretty confident that Opus can nail it. But yeah, that's that cool backup plan if it can't get the UI part. And then yeah, once loot tables are done, it's then the PvP session part's next. That's the big mama jama. Viewing system and all that stuff. I think that'll go pretty smooth, honestly. Because we have the data for everything else set, so just plugging all the other features into the session itself and making sure it doesn't crap out. Whoops. Got it to work. It's so cool. I was like, yeah. As soon as I saw that tweet about the mini game plugin thing, and they saw the video and they saw the selection part, I was like, yeah, of course you can utilize that data, but how? And of course, Opus nails it in like one shot. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be up 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna go and think of any other features and stuff you'd probably want. The PvP session part is already that plan is already like done, like it's already set out. So I just want to get the loot side of things finished, and then the PvP session side that's the next big one. After the loot table stuff. But yeah, thank you for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Thank you for your input and your help, as always. This is freaking awesome. And yeah, if I come across anything else, I'll be sure to say it on stream, because this is freaking cool. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Have a good rest of your Sunday. And that almost... Dude, we have to try this on a freaking server, though. That's going to be the fun part. Bringing it over and it just instantly just crashes. It doesn't work. Nah, I think it'll be fine. Yeah. I think once it's like more in an operational state, it is in an operational state now, but once it's more in an operational state, we'll do that for sure. And that'll be this week for sure. Unless I run out of context like stupidly quick every single time and it just takes a while. But yeah. Dude, I'm interested in the mob spawning. The mob section of the arena is going to be fun. And chaotic. I can't wait. All right, buddy. I'm gonna go. I'll see you later. Thank you again for hanging out today. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your Sunday. All right, peace out, all. Whee! That would be super nice. 100 a month.